Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to move instantly from desiring to fulfillment. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I heard from one of you who said, Tom, I've been focused on the last couple of months, the image or the imaginal act of being married to my SP, living in the house of my dreams, and having enough money so we don't have to worry about it, so we can travel and so forth. And I think I've been in the state of my wish fulfilled. But then yesterday, as I was out, I saw my SP, who I haven't talked to for months. Right? We've only met 2 or 3 times, and he was out with another woman. And so I don't know if this is someone that he's with. They didn't seem to be together, although they were talking and shopping together. And I'm just wondering, this really kind of shook me a bit. And now I don't know where to go from here. I don't know if it's how I'm imagining it, whether the scene's correct, or what else I should be doing or not doing. I was wondering if you could talk about that. Well, guys, we're going to unpack this today and more. Here's what I want to say, and this is big, that sometimes when we're imagining or we're thinking of our desires or we're visualizing it or affirming it, we're thinking more of the desire, the thing, than the fulfillment of it. Hear this, there's a big difference, right? So it doesn't matter, the imaginal act and the processes are secondary. They're not as important as what those processes and what that imaginal act implies. And the key is for it to imply wish fulfilled, to imply the fulfillment already of your desire. So what happens is a lot of times you're just desiring. You're focused on the thing. You're focused on the SP. You're focused on the money, and you're focused on the house. And it feels like you're imagining it and that you're in the scene and that it's implying fulfillment. But you're more focused on the lack of it than the actual having it, being it, living it, right? So desire is focused on the thing desired. Intention, on the other hand, as we talked about, pure intention, is focused on the experience of fulfillment. So you want to intend it and choose it, right? And then as you imagine it, right? Whatever process is, it doesn't matter whatever process you use. The key is intention. It's focused on the experience of fulfillment rather than the thing desired. That's what matters. That's what matters most, right? So here you are, I really want it. And there you are, you've got the 3 components, the SP, the bag of money, the house, right? But you're thinking about it in a way, I really want it, but I don't have it. Or you're just focused really on the thing as opposed to the experience of being fulfilled. The experience of having the fulfillment, right? Instead, when you set the intention, when you choose to have it, when you give yourself the luxury of having it, when you accept that reality of being married to your SP in the house of your dreams and being financially independent as one possibility out of a quantum field of possibilities, and you choose that reality, you choose that possibility as yours, there's no more doubt. You don't need the desire anymore. You don't need to focus on the specific thing. You can integrate that. I choose it, I have it, I want it. See this? You're radiating here money. You're radiating abundance. Here you're radiating love, right? That you're in love, right? And here you're radiating that you're loving the house. It's all integrated. There's a difference, right, between the desiring of it, which puts you on a vibrational lack, and choosing to have it. And saying, I want it, and it's mine, and radiating that as an integrated whole. Wow, that's big. That's fulfillment. It's always about what the imaginal act or the visualizing or the affirming, whatever techniques you use or processes, it's always about what it implies that matters. And what it implies, or you want it to imply, is fulfillment. right? The fulfillment of your wish, the feeling inside of fulfillment, and not just fulfillment when it gets manifested in 3D reality, but fulfillment along the way. But it's the experience that you're going for, the experience of being fulfilled now, the experience of having that now, right? So let's unpack this a little bit more. Desire or desiring always includes the possibility of non-fulfillment, right? When you say you want it, there's a possibility that you won't get it. That's when doubt comes in. That's when fear, and that's when you start taking action in 3D. You start taking 3D world by storm, right? You start confronting it, trying to impact it directly, right? And this is you in the area of desires. Desiring the possibility of non-fulfillment implies separation. Because get this, guys, you're not separated from anything that you desire or that you want. You only believe you are. And once you get over that and know that you're never separated, then the possibility of non-fulfillment is a zero possibility. There is no possibility of non-fulfillment when you are it, when you feel it within, right? So, and that's where intention gets you. Look at the difference between separation and intention. With intention, you're in the middle, you're radiating it. You're radiating the money, you're radiating the love with your SP, and you're radiating that being in that house, right? All of it's there, and your desires are within you. The vibration surrounds you, and it's within you. You can see they haven't coalesced yet. The reflection hasn't fully formed in the 3D world, but the image is forming quite nicely on the other side of the mirror, right? Fulfillment is a sure thing. It's in the bag because you are experiencing it already on your way to the 3D manifestation. It's in the bag, right? When there's no separation and you're surrounded by everything you want, it's in the bag. It's when you're surrounded by it vibrationally that counts, right? More so than in 3D, right? You can still have things in 3D and still feel lack. Hear this. This is big, right? You could have a bunch of friends around you and still feel lonely. You can have a bunch of money and material things around you and still feel broke. But when you create the state within, it's impossible not to feel fulfilled. You don't need the stuff. Do you see the difference here? Do you get the magnitude? That's why that's why you always ask, well, what about these rich people? What about these politicians or whatever? It doesn't matter what you see on the outside. It matters within. You could be surrounded by everything that you think you want and still feel broke, still feel lonely, still feel unworthy. But when you create that state within, when you're vibrating with worthiness, your God-given worthiness, right? When you're vibrating with that money and that wealth and that prosperity and that love, no one can take that from you. It doesn't matter what hell breaks loose in the 3D world. You can't be touched. You're invincible. That's what we're talking about, guys. This is big, right? No separation. You're surrounded by it, right? You assume it's in the bag, and then it is in the bag. You choose to have it. Then you have low to no importance. Desiring creates importance. I need it. I want it. What if I don't get it? I better work harder. Oh, I may not get it. I better really take action in 3D. That creates all of that resistance, right? And doubt creeps in, right? Doubt makes no sense when you intend it, right? Belief's not required because you know, right? Belief's required here. And when belief's required, that leaves room for doubt. And that leaves the possibility for non-fulfillment. Here, when you know, there's no possibility of non-fulfillment when you stand in knowing. There's none. When you create the state within, there's no possibility of non-fulfillment because you're already fulfilled. It doesn't matter what happens in the 3D world. Do you hear this? Right? This is big. So, desire, I want it badly, requires belief that you can have it, and therefore creates the doubt that you may not receive it. And then you try harder, right? You go, I'm going to do whatever it takes not to feel, right? And then you work harder and you create more obstacles that you have to jump and more over and more hoops that you have to jump through. More obstacles that you have to jump over and more hoops that you have to jump through, right? At the same time, you're battling with your doubts. The more you want it, the more importance that you put on it. And then the more you doubt it. Yeah, right? So the more you want it, the more importance you place on it, and the more you doubt it. And the more you try to take on physical reality, try to take on the 3D world. Forcing things to happen in 3D. Here's you on your lifeline right now. That's your current slide, the blue slide. Everything's in black. Why? Because if you're going to force it, if you're thinking about the thing and not intending it, not using intention, if you're using desiring, thinking about the thing versus intention, choosing to have it, it goes dark. And then you move to more unfavorable lifelines where your wishes don't come true, right? Just more obstacles, more things to battle, right? Or maybe you try to manually do it in 3D and then things fall apart. Whatever, if you don't create the inner state, the outer state can't last. Hear this. Right? Even if you manage to fight 3D reality and get something that you believe you want, it can't last unless you create the permanent inner state where everything exists. Behind everything you see in 3D, every person, place, and event is a mental equivalent on the metaphysical side of reality. And as soon as that metaphysical equivalent dissolves, it dissolves in 3D. It can't survive. This is big, right? You move to even more unfavorable lifelines in this case. More obstacles are thrown on your path, and you move further away from your wish fulfilled, right? We've talked about this, but never like we're talking about it today. The harder you try, the more things go off the rails, right? And the harder and harder you try to impact the current 3D manifested reality to have your desire, right? So the harder you try, the more things go off the rails, then the harder and harder you try to impact the current 3D manifestation reality to have your desire. Do you see this? As you see things falling apart, you even work harder. You double down on the chaos. You double down on the disaster, right? As opposed to going within, right? It's exhausting, it's stressful, and it's no fun. We didn't come here for that. Right? You become unconscious. Instead, set the intention, the decision to have it, and move towards it. Create that inner state, right? Enjoy the process of fulfillment. Remember, that's what fulfillment is to have that fulfillment now. It's the wanting without the resistance. It's the wanting without the longing. It's the wanting without the needing. Do you hear this? That's what intention is. You want it, but there's no resistance. You want it, but there's no longing for it. You want it, but there's no needing it. You want it, but there's no importance. Wow, that's big. You care about it, but you're not putting excess importance on it. Right? You're taking action, but you're not forcing it in 3D. You're being moved by that higher power. You're being moved by source energy. You're being moved by that God power within. This activates the power that creates worlds to carry you to the lifeline where your wish is fulfilled. That's big. So let's continue on. Desiring and waiting creates an energy imbalance. It creates the lack. Remember, lack doesn't exist. That's something you create. When you don't, behind the lack is there's an abundance of lack if you create it. But it doesn't exist on its own. You give it life. You move to a lifeline where your dreams don't come true. It's a lifeline of struggle, effort, and exhaustion. And you might be able to accomplish things some things in 3D, but it's always at a tremendous cost. And it never lasts unless you establish and create the inner state, right? Intending and choosing moves you to more favorable lifelines where all your dreams come to. That's the power of pure intention, right? As you enjoy the experience of fulfillment along the way. Hear this. It's enjoying the experience of fulfillment now and along the way, right? It's about ease. It's about flow. It's invigorating. It doesn't sap your energy. It gives you energy, right? You become more powerful. The key to harnessing source energy is not a direct impact and effort or on 3D reality. It's not to battle 3D. Rather, it's subtle and it's free-flowing, right? It's the paradox of having the light touch of control while giving up trying to control it. Hear this, like the kite we talked about. You're giving up control to the wind of outer intention or that God power to lift the kite higher. And you're not controlling it, you're just holding on to the string lightly and letting it slip through your hands as the power, that source within you, lifts it higher and higher and higher, right? So it's about a light touch of control while giving up trying to control it. That's the paradox, right? It's the decision to have it, what you want, without needing to have it. Wow, that's big. So Your wish fulfilled is in the bag when you make this one shift. What's the one shift? When you move your attention and focus from wanting and desiring the manifested thing to the choosing and intending of it and enjoying the experience and joy of the process of fulfillment now, on the way and all the way to 3D fulfillment. Hear me, guys. This is the key, right? You move your attention and focus from wanting and desiring of the manifested thing, right, or your desire, to the choosing and intending it by enjoying the experience and joy and the process of fulfillment now. It's the wish fulfilled. It's not the thing. It's what the thing implies, right? It's what the house implies, the SP implies, right? The money, right? On the way to the full 3D manifestation. Then the 3D world must conform. It has no other choice. The mirror has no other choice but to consolidate around this new reality. It has no choice. Hear me, guys. We often doubt it like this, that something can go wrong, like the mirror has a choice, right? That it doesn't. And that power has to remember, that greater subconscious, that God power is dispassionate. It accepts your order, right? But you can't force it. You can't order it around. It accepts your state of being. It accepts who you're being. It accepts what you're intending and choosing, right? Redefine fulfillment, right? Redefine this choice, right? From having to have the thing manifested in 3D to finding the joy in the process of fulfillment. That's how you define fulfillment. It's not about manifesting the thing in 3D. It's about finding the joy in the process of fulfillment. When you redefine it like that, it's in the bag. No earthly power can keep you from all you want. The 3D world must conform. It has no other choice, right? The joy really is in the journey. That's how to move instantly from desiring to fulfillment. I am your host, Tom Kieran, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Follow us on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kieran. Our website you can visit at tomkieran.com or besomethingwonderful.com, or write me anytime at info@besomethingwonderful.com. I'd love to hear from you. Guys, keep sharing our videos, our channel with your friends, family, colleagues, strangers, everybody. That's how we get our word out, and that's really how we grow and grow and grow. So until next time, with great love and great light, this is Tom. See you soon.